That seems to work, at least for. So yeah, this is my toilet. It's not that clean and so forward, but anyway, it's a toilet anyway. So I got got some VVS doing. I'm not sure what that is called. Some plumbing things done here, and looks pretty good. Took some time here and there. I needed to fly. There was a lot of things. There was a lot of issues. The cable here not the cable, the whatever was not long enough, and there was problems in different what do you call it, sizes, and I ordered from the US. Pretty stupid. Actually, I think there was something in regards of Europe, and they have seems to have the same problem. The problem is that I don't really have that much space here, and so it actually sits, this direction is which it shouldn't, and it that is it should have should have been in here, but it's out here. So it's like, and of course it's just a little it's not really a success, success. And I cleaned a little in regards before I went, wanted to clean a little in regards to the toilet, and it broke. I was standing there with my brush and all that, and poof, it just, broke. I didn't even drop anything down there, it just broke. I bought this thing, Doc Pato, and just gave it like all around and so forward, and let it sit a little, and took the brush over there and just gave it, and then it broke. But anyway, the idea is, you're sitting there on the toilet, and then you have this smart thingy. We need to have the camera on again. There we go. And then you turn the thing, and it just, see, woo, and I'm getting wet. So that's the whole idea, and you have like this clean thing here. You turn this, and then and then it cleans itself. So, it works, so it's not like it doesn't, do anything. So it does do something, but it's like, it should have been closer this direction. And of course, if it actually fitted, I would need to get some thing where this actually can, it just sits down in so I would need to get some, buy something that can, attach on the bottom, so you can actually make it, fit without actually just shaking up. This just sits loose. So, but that's what I, wrong button. But it shoots pretty good, the wall is wet. So I tried it once, and it's really difficult because it's just too this way, and this is shaky, even if it gets a little shaky on the toilet. So I really needed to, and I think that this thing is not sitting. But anyway, I tried it once, and it worked in some sense. But I can see the idea of the thing, But I need to find another solution. I'm not sure what actually exists of these, and I actually bought two. That's pretty stupid. I should only have one, but I got two apparently by mistake. So so I have one here, but I can't really. So I have two that I really can't use to anything. So that was pretty sad, And I heard. Let's see if we can take some camera here, and let's go in so it can. There we go. So, let's see. So of course I'm not sure, but the idea was that of course it should have worked, and the other one I'm probably going to put back in the box, because I can't really, it's not sitting right. And even if it worked and I could, I would then be able to actually mount it better in regards of the seat and all that, because I would just need probably another seat where it has some where you can actually fix it underneath. This one is just, you know, you just sit it down and you can take it up very easily and so forward. The problem is the bidet is actually, you know, higher, makes it go higher, and you cannot really get it all through, and you cannot really fix it together, so it actually, you know, sits stable on it. So that's a problem as well. So it was just a lot of, you know, a lot of more resources than I thought in regards to these things. You know, I heard people say, oh, it takes 15 minutes. Yeah, well, it takes 15 minutes to drive to Sylvan. And when you do it 3 times, that's at least, well, it takes, I think actually it takes longer for me to get to Sylvan in regards of, so I had 3 trips to get this fixed, and because then it wasn't long enough, and I needed to, you know, to extend it, and then the thing that I got with it didn't fit. Apparently they used some other standard apparently, so one of them fitted and the other 2 didn't fit apparently. So it's just a mess for these things, you know, different standards and so forward, you know. And then the last time I just needed one single piece that I had forgotten, and needed to go back and get that piece. But anyway, I got it working, of course, so at least I've learned a little in some sense here and there. But what a, you know, instead of just using what, you know, in regards to the piece that was with it, like this one, you know, a cheek cross, I needed to, you know, make a whole puzzle piece thing to, you know, a T thing, and then put, yeah, instead of just having one piece, it, you know, you get more pieces and so forward. Yeah, so, and the idea of the bidet is that you take it from the place where it goes into the toilet, but the thing is, it's sitting on the other side. So again, I needed to make it longer. So anyway, but I got it working, so it's not that bad. Now I'm going to take it off at some point, because it's yeah, there's no really idea in if it's sitting like that, and actually should have sit, you know, if it doesn't fit, you know, it just doesn't fit. So I'm thinking of another option that, you know, I have the, what do you call it, the thing where I can turn it off and on and so forward, and just connect something else now. So that's pretty nice to the toilet. Of course, I need to have a new toilet probably, because it's broke, because it's, you know, falling to pieces apparently. It still works and so forward, but who knows if it begins to break more, of course. But I need to have, you know, I need to check in regards to that. Have a replacement and so forward. So I'm probably going to toy more in regards to these things. But I've seen that was like they call it a bomb gun, or some, you know, woman called it a bomb gun. I think it's called something else. It's just like a small sprayer where you connect it to the water, and you then just fix it in behind and just push it, and there you go, and you have like a control in some sense of that. And they seem to not be that costly, so I was thinking, let's, you know, that's an option as well to try out, you know, at least, you know. I'm not sure in regards to the bidet to the toilet, if you know, I'm not sure if there's any version, which again, the problem is, you know, that should have been more room in the back, so you could actually have put it backward. But again, the whole you know, it just stops at the very beginning, so I can't move anything in regards of getting it a little more back, you know. It's just, it sits all out in the front, and there's no room for pushing it back. It's very sad, because you can see here. Oh, maybe I should take the camera. Well, I pretty much see that these could have been a lot longer, you know, this way. But the thing is, it cannot, because of the, I'm not sure what that is called in English, the citerne. I'm not sure what it's called in English at the moment. But the idea was, you know, pushing it more backward would have helped. I'm not sure if I maybe could. No, probably not. if I maybe could saw it or something, like saw it into pieces, so I could move it this direction. That may actually be, that may be able to do it if I take this piece off maybe, and this piece off. I could probably fix it here if there's nothing really underneath there. I don't think there is. So that's a possibility anyway. I have bought it, so if I could maybe, and then of course if that works, then I would have to have this one fixed with some kind of where it fastened to it. But that's a possibility, because this is, you know, that would maybe be an option. Well, it can only go wrong in some sense, but I can't use it anyway at the moment. So if I do that, I might be able to get it longer this way. Oh, you know, so this thing in regards to, oh, it only takes 15 minutes to do and all that, and I'm just getting one issue after another. Now, of course, the toilet broke as well. That's just the first issue. Just cleaning it breaks it apparently, you know. And then you needed these things on the seat as well, and they really had some issues in regards of actually staying there. So I needed to get some real glue to really make them sit there. And then of course needed the, I needed the extra thing here in regards to this thing, and I needed to buy, you know, in regards to fixing it inside here. Let's see if we can see it. It's a little hard. Let's see, Daisy. I have this like someplace here where you can actually turn on and turn off. Oh, it maybe sits over here. Should sit here. Yep. Well, you can sit on the toilet. You can. I think you can. It should be here somewhere. Oh well. Anyway, so you can turn off and turn on in regards of this one, but. You know, 15 minutes, I wouldn't say it was 15 minutes, that's for sure. More like an irritating day, and not a day, but some hours driving back and forth, and fixing things here and there, and finding out, this actually doesn't fit the thing, you know, because it's American thing. And then going back, and yeah. The last trip was my own fault that I didn't really... and now, of course, this issue. And again, I may actually be able to solve it. You know, if it actually sticks, that's the question. The problem is if these are actually going to want to stick in regards if I break it up here and break it up here. That may not actually be the case. Then I might actually need to glue it so it's, you know, sits there. That's a possibility as well. I have some glue, you know. Oh my. So, yeah, it's not really... Very loose. But the bidet anyway is shooting water at least. And so I can see the possibilities of it for sure. It's... you know, again, I tried it once and it's not bad, you know, it's just good cleaning. Let's see here. There we go. So, but again, I've seen like a bomb gun thing as well. You know, it's all new to me. I never knew in regards of a bidet. Apparently it's called a bidet and not a bidet, apparently. So I think I was told it's like a French thing or something like that. And it's all new to me, you know. I never knew about it. I never heard about it. And, you know, I probably seen some kind, but I never, you know, never understood what it was. Or, you know, just, that's weird, you know. What is that? You know, it's like washing things or something like that. A little small, I don't know. But any case, you know, so you know, the Mohammedans apparently use these things. I think they should tell us they actually use some water for the behind, you know. That seems to actually to be a very good idea. I'm not sure why we're not in the West. We're just using the paper thing and all that. And I'm like, seems like a much better solution with water, you know, just cleaning your behind, you know, just getting a spray up in your behind and just cleaning it all off. Sounds pretty good to me. And in regards of, if people are in regards of paper and all that, you save a lot of paper as well. You know, just a win-win situation, right? Why haven't I never heard about it? You know, just like, maybe I just don't get enough out or something like that. Anyway, there's also portable bidets, or bidet. So I've ordered one, at least. I was thinking of, you know, you need to find out what, and it needs to have a good spray as well, you know, so I've seen something over in the US which really should have a really good spray. That's also expensive, but if you can take it with you, you have your ass cleaner with you. That sounds pretty good, you know. Then you can just take it with you, fill it with water, and then shoot it off. I just need to pump it on and all that. There are also some battery things I've looked at, but again, I haven't really tried them. I'm just looking at what is actually out there. There also is a portable thing in regards to the bump gun. It's probably called something else, but she was calling it a bump gun. But, you know, usually it's connected to the line, the water line. But you can actually get it where it's like on battery and you can charge it and so forth. And you can have it with you if you're going out, you know, in the... But I'm thinking this, it was just, you know, it has like a thing where it was like a bucket thing and you can put it down, you put the water there and then you could run and all that. Just seems to be too much stuff to have with you. You know, it needs to be easy, portable, you know, and something you can have in your bag or something like that very easily, you know, with you, and just fill it with water. You know, most toilets have water, you know, nearby, so just take the bottle and fill it up with water, and you're good to go, as I understand it. So, yeah, it's very interesting. You know, very interesting. Again, I have no idea. You know, the thing is, as I understand it, you know, people don't know about these things. They don't know about that these things exist. I didn't know about these things existed. I have no idea. It's like a huge conspiracy to keep us, what do you call it? To keep us, you know, to the toilet paper. That's probably a lot of money. I don't know. You know, why wouldn't anyone actually... you know, make a good product, you know, in regards of and telling people about it? I have no idea, you know. It seems like it's a pretty good idea, you know. It's and other countries use it and they, you know, have good experiences with it. So yeah, it's a little cold here in Denmark in regards to the water, but it's not bad, you know. Besides it was a little too this way, so I actually cooled my front instead, you know. So they got pretty much sucked up. So that's but you know, that's because it, you know, should be a little more this way, you know, more behind and so forward, you know. But besides that, you know, it's so that was actually, I'll see what I can do with this one. I must say I'm not really in regards of sending it back to the US. It's probably going to cost more sending these things back because, you know, it's not the most expensive thing, not the cheapest thing, but not the most expensive thing. I think I paid like $30 or something like that for each of them. Something like that. That's like 150 crowns or something like that. I'm not sure how much it would take to actually send them back to the US, but I think I'm going to run wild with this one and see if I can actually get it to actually fit better. And yeah, like for example, not sure if I'm going to use the saw, but you know, something to just, or maybe a good knife or something like that, and just fix it down the line and see if it actually, I should actually be able to do that. I don't think there's any parts that just would have a problem with that. And then afterwards, I would actually just need to get a new seat, so it's, you know, so it can fasten to it. Of course, maybe if I'm actually going to get a new toilet, then maybe that's not actually an issue, by the way. So maybe I could, of course, wait to actually get my toilet exchanged. That's another option, of course. But I would like to try, you know, have it really, yeah, that's a good question if I should wait. And I'm not sure when that would be in regards of how long it will take to actually fix the toilet, a new toilet, if one cannot, I don't think I don't think you can glue it. Well, of course it would be one way of fixing it, just gluing it together, yeah, but of course it probably doesn't have the structure that it should, but you know, I never tried anything like that, you know, just cleaning things and then things are, but I'm thinking it must have been some chemicals that did it or something like that, you know, just must have been something that made it pop off. It's just weird. So that's pretty much it. That's a good question, what to do. Should I try it or should I wait for? That's a good question. That's a dilemma. Of course, I have another one if it goes wrong. Yeah, that's... So... Yeah, it shouldn't be that... yeah. That's a good question. Well, don't have much to... but again, in regards of the gun thing, you know, this looks pretty good as well, you know. That's so there's 3 options I know of that I never heard about, you know. So, so-called bump gun, you know, and you can find different variations of that. Again, apparently it's pretty normal in other countries, some other countries, you know. And of course the thing in the toilets, you know, and then of course there is the portable things. Again, it is interesting with the portables as well, you know, if you can take it with you, that sounds pretty good, you know. That's, you know, you can't really take the toilet with you, so that's, but if you have a small bottle and again, I've seen these things with pressure where you just pressurize them, you know, there's no batteries or anything like that, and you just pressurize them and you can just take them with you, you know. So, yeah, actually, you know, think about it, you know. Just fill it up with water, go in, and while you're doing your thing, and you can just pump it up in the meanwhile. So anyway, I don't know. But again, I do wonder why I never been told about these things. So it seems too, you know, it just seems and sometimes natural, you know, instead of the paper thing, you know, and yeah. Why haven't I ever heard about that? Apparently also in the US, a lot of people haven't heard about them in the US either. And apparently some see it as unnatural thing. But it's probably the same thing in Denmark. But I think the biggest problem is that people haven't heard about them, you know. I talked with a friend of mine, you know, you see it on the internet. People haven't, they just, what, you know, they never seen these things, you know. And then you have the Mohammedans saying, "Are you not cleaning your bottom with water?" I was like, "No, we're not. we're using paper." and I'm thinking, you know, people talk about, oh, you know, the trees and this and that, and I'm like, well, why are they not just promoting the bidets, you know? You know, if they, you know, talking about, oh, we're using so much paper and this and that and so forward and all that. Well, we could just use these water guns, you know. Go spreading the word on the water guns instead, you know. Just anyway, in regards to trees, of course, I'm thinking, you know, we can always grow new trees, you know. You know, if you just remember to plant trees, you know, it should be no problem in regards of. But again, we have the option for just to use water. So yep. Anything else? I have to, you know, think about what I'm going to do in regards of if I'm going to try, because it should be. But again, I would then need another seed, and again, maybe I should wait to actually get a new toilet then, and just see what happens, what kind of toilet I'm getting. And I need to find out how that is actually also going to work out. You know, so. Yep. Anyway, not really. You can just see it once more, and then I'm going to close down. It's actually one of these videos where I'm like, you know, I don't really have anything to say. Oh, that was okay. This is the cleaning function, and then there we go. Oh. So you can really see it's the line. You can see the line there goes up there. Of course, everything gets wet. It's actually shooting pretty good at that point in some sense, but there we go. But yeah, when you're sitting on the thing, it still shakes up and down and so forward, so it's still unstable. So yeah. So, but again, I get the idea of it. Very nice. Again, I don't understand why, you know, why toilets don't have that, you know. I think it could actually be pretty, you know, if people first tried it and so forward. I think people could actually, but maybe they have when they have been out traveling, and apparently they hadn't really hit into things. It seems. But again, if people don't know what it is, you know, when they, you know, see it in other places and they don't really know how to work it or whatever it is, you know, then of course they. But you know, I would guess that some tries it out in other countries, and I think, you know, there must be some people that are like, oh, that's a wonderful thing. I want like, you know, I want like one of these at home, you know. Just you know, see the people on the internet just like happy for these things, you know, instead of all that paper, you know, scratching paper, and yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. It's a nice solution. I think it's a very cool cool thing. I have no idea again why I haven't ever, you know, heard about these things. It just seems a lot more natural than paper, or, you know, just, yeah. I have no idea why we don't have these things. All the country, you know, every single toilet in Denmark should have a bidet. I think so, you know. You can get some pretty good, also some toilet versions where it's like a little more luxury and all that, but just a bidet, you know, I think it seems pretty cool. I'm not sure if they have problems in, but other places in the world, apparently it works pretty good, it seems. You know, so, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe there's a cleaning problem or something like that, but I'm thinking something, you know, things should be able to be sorted out, you know, in regards of engineers or whatever, you know. We have a lot of clever people that can do those things, you know, so, and have it in the toilet or something like that. But yeah, I don't know, it, you know, should be possible. So yeah, so it's I think it's Tuesday today. Yeah. Yes, that's pretty much it. That's my small view. You know, when I tried it out, it was like, yeah, it seemed like it wasn't that, you know, I saw some of the people where there was like, it's really not that, you know, big deal in some sense. It's just, you know, a spray of water up your behind, and it's actually not, that's actually pretty, you know. You felt pretty clean afterwards, for sure, you know, and that's the idea of it, of course. And I see other people also saying that they feel pretty clean after such a, you know, and yeah, you know, I can see where they're going with that, you know. It's you know, it's like yeah. Anyway, yeah, probably also much smoother for the behind, instead of, you know, like when we had the sandpaper thing. I have no idea. They, you know, why would they ever create this water paper, or what do you call it, sandpaper for the toilet to scratch our behinds like you know, when we had, you know, when we have had this invention for 300 years, and actually you can just have this bum gun thing, you know, it's just. That doesn't even need to be that technical. It's just a spray of water, you know. It's not really technical. You know, this technology has apparently, you know, been here for 300 years or something like that. You know, we are a little bit behind on those things, apparently. Like 300 years. But no, we wanted the sandpaper, toilet paper. You know, and it was in the schools and all that, this yellow thing that just scratch you like, you know, It's just it's you know it's the same as sandpaper. You just are taking sandpaper nearly, you know, and dried you with so what do you call it? You would would nearly have done the same thing in regards of damage to your behind, you know. Why not just fix a bidet on these schools, you know, and just a little, you take the bidet, fix it, or what is well, the bum gun thing, you know, just come on, you know. Maybe there's something I've missed or something like that. But you know, in regards of the toilet paper that we had here in Denmark, you know, the sandpaper thing, you know, compared to that, you know, why would anyone go for the toilet paper? You have a thing that sprays water, and you have sandpaper, sandpaper, water, sandpaper, water, sandpaper, water. I think I'd go for the water thing, you know, come on. So anyway, out driving, something may be burning, or maybe there's just, so, yeah. Anyway, or maybe they was thinking maybe we should just torture the children and give them this, disgusting sandpaper, you know. Anyway, I just wonder, you know, easy solution, a bump gun instead of all this paper thing, you know. It's just no idea, and how, who knows how much it actually, in regards to just creating the paper in itself. What is? Isn't there something about there's a lot of water being used for making the paper in itself, and we could just use the water to just directly, fix it. Just not. Oh well, sometimes you just things surprise you in some sense. It's just wow, no one have heard about it. And we're not, oh well. Anyway, have a good day, all of you, and may Jehovah bless you and be with you. Yeah, getting a little tired here, but not sure what to do with myself at the moment. But yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I have it here, right? Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Where was no. I had it somewhere. No, that's not it. No, I should have had it here. Well, oh yeah, here we go. Here's another bidet. This is a portable bidet. Let's just turn on the, and this is from the US. There's others. Okay, it doesn't really look that good, right? But it, if it works, it works. As long as it works, it doesn't really matter how it looks, right? Well, it's like, it's a little expensive. But anyway, it's the smallest unit. The Mini B above has antimicrobial treatment on the inside surface. This coating discourages bacteria growth and so forward. And there's 24 ounces and so forward. So it's a little expensive, but if as I understand it, it's not that big in some sense. You can have it in your bag. And the pressure should be very good. I think they say it's like the most powerful portable bidet. And I'm like, that sounds pretty good to me, So that's what I'm looking into at the moment, Trying things out, seeing it. Yeah, it would actually be a game changer. As I've heard other people talk about, these things. Being a game changer. Oh well, I'm going to stop now. Just a little thing about well, not much actually. And the weather, of course, in Denmark is gray, and more gray. Not any surprise there, Gray sky, gray, and a little rain, and very. Yeah, nothing really interesting in Denmark. It's not like in Israel where you have sun, and more sun. Here in Denmark we have gray, and more gray, pretty much. It's very sad and boring, and yeah. So anyway, pretty much it. Yes, let's just stop it. Oh yeah, by the way, now that's of course not in regards to the bidet, but I got this little small thing in regards of testing the USB, how much and so forward. It's really weird with the chargers, you know, the different chargers and so forward, and how they work, because some chargers apparently it seems to work good with some things, and then for example this was actually pretty good, and then I tried it with what was it? Yeah, I think it was charging a standard battery here, and then it just failed utterly, you know, it just didn't really do its work. Then it just, you know, was very slow, but it was faster than the other two on many of the other things, but just pretty much just this one, just the worst charger ever, you know. It's the most, you know, the biggest one, and the probably also the heaviest of them all, you know, and it's the worst one. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, just so I tried a little about that and see how much these things you know, if when you're out traveling you want to have quick charging, you know, and of course the original charger is actually the best way to go. Sometimes it actually doesn't go into quick charging. That's another issue, you know, with these mobile things and all that. But so I got this little guy here to test the things, and yeah, you know, if I'm going out traveling at some point, you know, you never know. I don't know, but it would, you know, it's nice to have things in order in some sense. Yeah, it is. Also some batteries. They have made these new batteries where you can actually charge them with the USB, you know, the micro USB. And that's another thing, of course, you know, you have micro USB and you have the standard the new standard USB-C thing, but this is these new batteries are just the old micro thing. It also seems the C version is actually a little bigger, so maybe that's one of the reasons they haven't used the new ones. I'm not sure, but it's the old USB at least in any case. But I have this little charger here over here. And you can actually charge these batteries with you know, both a standard USB micro, or you can just put it in this little guy here, which, you know, is the quickest way to actually charge it. But you know, of course, you have two possibilities here, so that's of course good. Exists another light battery thing. These are to my headlamps, you know. I also use them as what do you call it, when I bike and so forward, going out biking. Use these, always have the light with me. You know, it's always nice to have, you know, light with you. You get pretty used to having it on the cab, and just, you know, when you're reading something, you can just, you know, take it with you. You have it with you you know, all the time nearly. And of course you know, you have the batteries, and you just have one battery in the pocket or something like that if one goes off. But of course but these are rechargeable, so not, you know, if you're on the road you can pretty much recharge them. Another thing that I got, I had it with me last time, but I really didn't use it that much, and this is it's like solar panels. In Denmark this is pretty much well, it's not useless, but it could be a lot better. You know, in Denmark, if one is going to use these in Denmark, I would pick the one with 3 instead of 2 plates. The idea of it all was, of course, if you're going out hiking and all that, one of the things that I found out first time I was in Israel was that you need power for your mobile. And that's the primary reason why I went to the hostels the first time, because I needed some power to the mobile. And last time I thought I had been, I had this guy with me, and this guy replaces pretty much 2 things. The first time I had like some hand warmers thing when when in the night and sleeping and so forward. You could fix them so you could get some heat, and I found them. They were like thrown out for trash. I found this little guy, and it works pretty good in regards of heating, and I use it on my, what do you call it, inside the jacket. If it's too cold, I can turn it on, and it's pretty good. But the thing is, it doesn't really charge. It's like 800 milliamps. It's charging. So I tried to use it last time in regards of this one, and it took all day with very good light, and it charged it nearly, I think I tried it 2 times or something like that. I didn't really use it that much last, but nearly a full charge. But the thing is, it only charges with like 800 milliamps. Let's see, yeah, milliamps. And this thing, if there's a lot of good sun and all that, I'm pretty much wasting a lot of power, because it can only charge with 800. I didn't know that. Of course, I know that now. So it takes a long time to charge, and the thing is, you don't want to waste the energy that you're getting from the solar panel. So that's the same thing with the other one I have the same problems, and only charging very minor. So I found one that actually has 2 amps instead, can charge with 2 amps, so that would be the full power, at least for one. I'm not sure what it can actually do in total in regards of, but 2 amps should be more than then it should be be good to charge all day. The idea, of course, is if you're cold in the night, you can use this to help you keep warm, and then you can charge it in the day, having the solar panels on your back. But anyway, I'm not sure if I'm going traveling again, but it would be nice to go out some hiking and so forward. But one is only getting older and older, so. But it is interesting to see the difference in regards to the chargers, how much difference that actually is. Of course, when you're on the road, it's actually, this is the original charger. That the last time I had this guy with me, where you have like 2, things, but it doesn't have fast charge. So that's and if you really need power, you really want to have a good amount of it really quickly. This one is like a charger to the batteries. The mobile I have, actually, you can change the batteries. So you can actually put this in the, I made it like I can put it over here. And well, there's actually already one in it. So you have this guy, you put the battery in it. And because I have a little bigger battery than the standard battery, I took it off and put some, and of course you never know when you need plastic things. So but then you can just fix it and cable over, and there you go. So you can go and power. If you have 2 batteries, you can do it in that way. So you always have power. So as long as nothing breaks, you're pretty much good to go. And 2 batteries of these is pretty much what you just need in if you're going out traveling, because then you have one full, and and then you have one that you can charge up, and it doesn't really, it doesn't take. Well, of course, if you have this with you, it actually it takes nearly 3 times as fast. Besides, if you just take the USB, but again, it's not a big deal. If you are on a dorm or whatever, it doesn't really matter if it takes this and that. But again, yet it's it's nice to have the quickest way for charging your device and all that. For example, in regards to the mobile, if you have the quick charger and you're on a restaurant, for example, or whatever, a place where you can eat, and they have like some power, you could just ask if you are allowed to use it. And let's say it takes 20 minutes to eat or something like that, then you can get 20 minutes of power. for the road, you know. But again, if you have solar panels, it's not really a big problem, of course. But it is, you know, if you want to take screenshots or video or whatever when you're out traveling, it's nice to have some power. And of course, the solar panels, if it, you know, it would pretty much give endless power for you. And again, when you're in Israel, there's so much sun, so it shouldn't be any problem. The problem in Israel would of course be water in some sense. You have to carry a lot of water. Of course, depends on where you are, but there's not always places for you to get water. So yep, so I've pretty much just talked about nothing at the moment, just a video for talking, I guess. Not anything. Oh yeah, this is the bigger battery, by the way. It's a little, it's a double size of the standard battery. You can get one that is just a little bigger than the, or you know, 3 times the size of the standard battery. But this gets a pretty good, what do you call it, the heaviness in the mobile. You know, the bigger one wouldn't probably be that big of a problem in regards to weight. You know, you get used to it in some sense, so it just looks big, but that's no problem. This is like my old mobile. You know, has a pretty big battery as well, so but it worked pretty good, you know, and works pretty good actually. And it's nice just to be able to just change battery for sure. But I don't really have, I have the 2 small ones here. These are the standard batteries, so I have one in the mobile at the moment. But then of course when it runs dry, so I can just change it. So that's, you know, going from 0 to full speed again. That's pretty nice if you're on the road. But yep, great. Yeah, can push these down, and there you go, information on this and that, and works pretty good. Yeah, anyway, I would of course recommend a good headlight. These are made from Olight. The other one that I had broke. Very annoying. Apparently, you know, I thought they were actually made to not break. Of course, I've used it like for a year or something like that, and pretty much every single day. But apparently the cap, you know, has a loose connection, so it has problems. So I got a new one. Not sure if I'm going to if they're going to resend a new one or something like that in regards to this. But I tried to ask them. It has been very difficult to actually, you know, get their thing to actually respond, and yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm ever going to. But anyway, I got a new one here, and it's like 10 grams less, a little more than 10 grams actually less in regards of weight, and that actually helps in regards of having it on your cap. Let's see if we can see, here we go. There we go. Oh, having some problems here apparently. There we go. So you see, it works pretty good, and you have easily light with you. And I think it's brilliant. You know, in the night you can pretty much go around in the dark when it's night without any lighting any lights in your home. That's pretty cool. So you could probably save some energy savings as well, you know. And if you need some light to read something, you just turn it on. And of course, Olight has this thing that's, you know, called, what do you call it, sensible, where you don't need to push the button to get into all these things. So you can easily actually, woo, and you can just, you know, it's just so easy with this. It's like, you know, every time these, you know, these headlights where you need to push and push and push and push and to get into where you want to go. But this is pretty much just, whoops, you know, this is the smallest light. I think it can run for like 40 hours or something like that or more, you know. But it's really good to the morning, you know, when your eyes are trying to get used to things and all that. You know, it's pretty good. It's comfortable. And then you just go up some levels, you know, 1 level, 2 and 3, and then you have the double if you really need some light, you know. It's, you know, pretty much more than you need. So, and there is another setting as well, this one, but you know, I really don't use that much. But let's see if I can see how. Oh, there we go. There's also I think there's a lock function as well on the headlight. I think if you hold it down, and yep, there we go. Then I shouldn't be able to turn it on. Nope, doesn't turn on. So you see, it's the program in itself. It's the same thing with my other headlights, so that's why I can remember all of them. It takes some time still to, you know, just to remember everything and all that. But it's the same program as the other headlight I had. So I think I got around all of the things. But if you want to turn it on, you just hold it in and there you go. Now the idea of it, of course, is if it just, you know, lays in your things and just get a little pressure here and there and it doesn't turn on. You know, if something is actually going at it for a longer time, it would of course turn on. But I can absolutely recommend these. Besides, you know, maybe the support could have been a little better. Maybe a lot better, maybe. But I don't know what they're going to do with my other headlamp. You know. I found out what was the problem. First I tried to, you know, write them and I never got an answer, and then I found out, well, then I at least got a response. Now I found out what was the problem with the headlight, and I tried to get it, you know, but it's apparently in the cap. The least, you know, the least expected place for it to break apparently is in the cap, which you normally pull off and all that. You know, they had like this smart system of you being able to charge it from the bottom in some sense, and I really don't use that anyway. I usually just take the cap off, change the battery and put the cap on again, but because, you know, I need to use the headlight, of course, right? So the other thing is really not and you know, the charger itself is also pretty big compared to the other charger you just saw. So so I pretty much just had the other one with me last time. Yeah, pretty much. It's just nice to have some good light if you're out hiking. You know, the first time I was out hiking in Israel, I had these small headlights. And, you know, you really just want some lights at some point, you know. I had these really minimalistic headlights. And it works, you know, it works, absolutely. You get some light and all that, but it's not much, and it's, but it's lightweight, really lightweight. I'm not sure how much less it actually weighs in regards of this one, but this is just much smarter, you know. You need to have a cap on you anyway in regards of Israel, because of the sun and all that, and I hate sunglasses, and you know, people that have sunglasses, they usually have sunglasses because they, you know, hide behind the sunglasses, it seems, you know. You know, like policemen in the US, always hiding behind the sunglasses instead of just, you know, it just seems, it seems like a defense line or something. I'm sure they have something in regards of being told on these things that, it, you know, when they're going to stand there and authority and blah, blah, you know, just, I don't know, but it just seems there's like a wall, you know, it just gets unpersonal in some sense. So I don't really like the sunglasses things, so rather have a cap. And then of course, you know, in regards of Jews, they, you know, they have this that you need to have something on your head, and, you know, so you actually fixes 3 things, you know, headlight and, you know, sun, you know, protection in some sense, and of course in regards to the Jews that, you know, that wants you to have something on your head if you're going into some of the areas, So, yep, that's pretty much it. Yep, not much else. Oh yeah, yeah, how to see. Would be nice. But yeah, it would be nice to get a little away from things again. And hopefully not get sick like I did last time. That was just terrible. You know, half of my vacation last time was just in, you know, I just got sick. Just terrible. So I had vitamin C with me, and I thought, and then some other things, and nothing seemed to work. And I took garlic as well, and you know, just pretty much. That was very sad. I should have kept my distance from the guy that was sick. Oh, that was my own fault. Oh well. Anyway, that's what happens sometimes. So anyway, have a good day, all of you. Nothing much on. Don't really have. I've talked in regards of the last video in regards of the Nazarenes and the Ebionites and so forward. I have a lot of papers, of course, to. As always, a lot of things to read. Printed some out in regards of the Meliton, and I have a lot of health things I need to study as well, of course. And yeah, there's always things to do. No idea how people can be bored, you know. There's so much things and so much we don't, you know. Yeah, so much to do. So anyway, and people of course don't want to hear the truth in regards of Jesus Christ and all that either, you know. But you know, the only thing you can do is just to stand on the truth and try to tell people about it, and yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But that's it also seems in regards to some of the bidets that you can buy on the internet, seems like you cannot really use it for water carrier or anything. This one I think you could actually use for water carrier, and the other thing, and the other you know, it would be nice just to, you know, if you know, just fill it up with water, you know. That might be you know, then you have a little extra, yeah, with you in some sense. So that's great. It would have been nice, I think, if they had a smaller version. I'm not sure how much water you actually use. I guess it depends of how much you know. So you know, in regards of also what you eat and all that, because I know when you're actually eating vegetables and fruit only, it's pretty clean in some sense, you know. You get the most smooth and clean trash, which actually doesn't, you don't need to use that much paper. But so I guess it depends on how much yeah. But in any case, yeah. Yep, anyway, just wasting my time here. Need to do something. Oh yeah, that was in regards of how the EU and so forward. Huh. Let's see. I think it's in regards to the Illuminati, you know, in regards of we're going to have this world order and the Antichrist leading it and so forward, and that will of course be the so-called Pope, the Antichrist. And of course he will be thrown in the lake of fire when Jesus comes back. So we shouldn't fear him, we should fear God. Even if things are looking bad, it's going in the wrong direction and it's going really quickly, because people don't care anymore. And you know, the world is pretty much heading downward very quickly. And you just have blind. We are just blind, you know. We don't care anymore. We don't have time for anything. We're all sick. We have all problems in this world, you know. It's just one thing after another and so forward. And we're not interested in the truth at all. You know, it's very sad. Sunday is not the last day of the week, it's the first day of the week. Christ Mass is not anything in regards of Jesus, but the solar god, Sol Invictus, like the Sunday as well, is also in regards of Mithra. I probably have other names, Sol Invictus, Mithra, whatever. Again, you can probably find other names for it as well. We have the pagan New Year as well in the winter. In regards of Janus, we have Easter. In regards of the false goddess, and Halloween. In regards of I think it was the Druids, but everything is just pagan, there's so many traditions, pagan traditions. In regards to the Christmas tree, pagan traditions, all of these things, all of them just seems to be pagan in origin, has nothing to do with the Bible, and yet Christians, it's even the churches in Denmark that is promoting these things. They are the promoters of these fallacies. And they should stand for the truth in the Bible, yet they do not. I think it's absolute disgrace, And of course, in regards of, beginning to sacrifice the meat to false gods and selling it to the people and defiling the Danish people. Of course, other Western countries have problems with that as well. And it's probably go back to Rome in regards to satanic powers trying to, if we're not going to stand for God's word, and, well, we lose rope, and Satan takes more and more and more and more, because we don't care at all. At all. People will say, oh, well, that's just how it is, and this and that. Well, think about it. Let's say the Protestants that protest the Antichrist would just say, well, it's just how it is, We wouldn't have been freed from the system and would still been in the Dark Ages under the Antichrist. Yet these Protestants knew something was terrible wrong, and they did something about it. And now we're just throwing it all in the garbage, Now, that's not to say they didn't have issues. Those, a lot of the Protestants had issues. But they were coming out of this dark period of time. And now people are running back to this system, this, the mystery Babylon, the whore riding the beast. Anyway, have a good one, all of you. I think I'm overtired or something like that. So I just have a good one, all of you. Bye bye. Oh yeah, by the way, of course, there's no copyright on anything that I make. I think copyright is of the devil. So whatever, if you want to download the things, whatever, and do clipping, whatever, you can do whatever you want. There's no copyright from my side anyway, free is free, we are not called to sell things, but to stand on the truth, and apparently, it's to spread the truth. The thing is, if you take, if you sell the truth, it's a lot harder to actually get out there, because people don't, people are not interested in buying the truth. Even reading it for free can be a difficulty to actually get people to, so if you can't even get them to hear the truth, well, when you don't pay for it, how are you going to, you think you can get them to see it if it costs money? No. So of course it should be, I think it should be freely given, We shouldn't try to sell it. We should just stand for, we have different, in regards to Christianity, different people have different, strength to use for, to help the brothers and sisters, in Christ. And, so if some are taking money for what they are good at, it just seems to, it doesn't really help the others that, it's just helping, to get the information freely out there, instead of, yeah, well, maybe. But I really get the idea of, you know, where we can help here and there and all that. That's for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's still a long way to, you know, just learning languages and so forward. It would be nice if it went a little quicker, but I'm a slow learner, and there's a lot to read and study. You know, why haven't I been told all these things? You know, why do I need to use most of my life finding out that we have been lied to, that they are now selling whore meat in the marketplaces, that, you know, it's all a lie. This world is just all a lie. It's just filled with deceptions everywhere. And sickness as well, and, you know, turning things upside down, you know, it's just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. And murder, you know, murder everywhere, you know, in regards of our children, murdering them, you know. It's just the most disgusting things that is happening in this world, you know. War as well, right? War, you know, killing people, you know. You know, give me a break. Why are you killing people, you know? Yeah, we need to go to war there and there. And of course, Antichrist needs to have his, you know, whole world. Just terrible. Just terrible. Again, so few. Yeah, I was actually, you know, it seems like that I'm unpopular on another Christian channel again. Probably going to be kicked out. People don't want to, you know, and, you know, okay, great, you know, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, just, you know, people get so, yeah, kick you out. That's just, well, at least they're not burning you on the stake yet, you know, or drowning you in the sea, or chopping your head off. So, but anyway, it's just, you would expect that, you know, some of these Christian places would like to have some truth, I guess, you know, in regards of biblical truth, and not just this, you know, ecumenical love, everything leads to God, you know, whatever, you know, which is fallacy, you know, because there's only one way to God. That's true. You know, you hear this doctrine that the Trinity is not in the Bible, and that's a man-made doctrine, and this, what do they call it, union, what do you call it, when there's this like absolute, you know, I found it in the New Testament, you know, by reading this thing. I came to pretty much the conclusion that many have come by before, and, you know, the line that is in question by many wasn't even in the New Testament. That actually is one of the strongest, they say, testifying in regards of the Trinity. Yet it was not even in this version that I read, and yet I got to the same conclusion. Isn't it funny? So if it was a man-made doctrine, why did I get to the same, you know, conclusion as many others in the world, you know? So I think it was 1 John 5:7 that they take out, and again I've looked into that, and I think it should be there. Again, it doesn't really, in some sense, it doesn't really change. It doesn't really change much, because it's, you know, yeah, it's pretty much there already. If you read and study the New Testament, you don't need that verse to get to that conclusion, I think. But it's, you know, it's just, you know, you see, and for example, you just take them and just make a, you know, here we have one circle, and the Son is in the Father, and the Father is in the Son, and of course they are in the Holy Spirit, and so forward, and just go there, and there you have it, you know. And the Son says, I am one with the Father. Way! So again, in regards to 1 John 5:7, you know, I don't, you know, but a lot of you know, I remember in Jerusalem, I met a lot of people that didn't believe that Jesus was God, and going around with my T-shirt, offended a lot of people, and I actually got the most heat from the Christians. Funny enough as it seems, those people that should be my brothers and sisters actually gave me the most heat because a lot of them that I met didn't believe that Jesus was God. No, it's just so it's apparently it's historical. It's nothing really has changed because that doctrine, of course, has been there from near the beginning. Anyway, 1 John 5:7, for there are three that bear record in heaven, the Father, the Word, and the Holy Ghost, and these three are one. Now, of course, they took that out in my Danish version. So that's there was another actually in 1 John 5:7, close by 5:9 or something like that, where I saw two of the Danish versions. Where I was doing some comparing, had taken things out. I think it was 5:9 or something like that. They're really doing a lot of good job to just try, yeah. And again, if you look on in regards of John, first John 5:7, they have to take it out, because it's against, for example, Jehovah's Witnesses. What would they do with like a verse like that? Actually, I'm not sure if actually the Jehovah's Witnesses in the Danish version have it. I haven't checked the Jehovah's Witnesses version, but I wouldn't think it would be there. But yeah, wait. I think I have checked it. Yeah, I don't think it is there. I believe I actually did check it. If I was in on a Jehovah's Witness, yeah, it was. I think it was gone, and it wouldn't of course not be a surprise at all. And of course they will have their excuses for that. But again, then you go to Matthew in the last part of Matthew, right? And you have the Father, go and baptize in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? So there we have the three again, because the Father, the Word, and the Holy Spirit are the same as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Word is Jesus. The Word is the Son. So the Son and the Word is pretty much the same. So it's just, you still have it, And which name did they go out and baptize in? Did they actually go out and baptize in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit? No. Every single time that I can see in the New Testament, they baptize in the name of Yeshua, Jesus. The name in regards to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Oh well. So now when people say that this is a man-made doctrine and all that, they just have one issue with the Trinity thing, is that they tend to forget the children of God. Now, of course, the children of God is from below. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are from above. They are like above the line, and we are from below. We are from, we are dirt. Adam was made out of dirt, if I remember correctly. God made him out of the dirt. So we are just dirt. We are from below, and he is from above. Jesus was from above. But we are passing from death to life because we are going from not being in God to being in God, who is the Son. We are brothers and sisters, believing in Jesus, and is now in the Son, who is the living God. And of course the Son is in his Father, and the Father is in the Son, and of course the sons are the children of God has the Holy Spirit. So they have the Son and the Father in them by that. And whether Jew or Greek or pagan, sorry, that's whether Jew or Greek, yeah, that's pretty much not pagan, Whether Jew or Greek, believing in Jesus, we are now in the Son. Doesn't matter if we are Jew or Greek, we are become, in the same body in regards of Jesus. So that's pretty much correct. So yeah, But I don't know why we are actually continuing all these pagan traditions as we are. You know, we just don't want the truth. We just look it up in a lexicon, and we don't even want to do that. And we just want to make fun of the truth, and you know, it's hurting us. It's really hurting us on so many levels. Not standing for the truth, and it's just getting worse. And we have the television to occupy our minds and desensitize us in regards of sin, which is transgression of God's law. And of course, if law, you know, isn't it weird that the Antichrist apparently think to change times and laws if the law is not valid anymore? Of course it's valid. Of course it still continues. The law is still, you know, transgression is still, you know, sin is then still transgression of God's law. If there is sin, there is law, because sin is transgression of the law, and we see sin being in the New Testament, and they're talking about sin, and they're talking about, well, if we sin, we can go to Jesus. If we sin and we confess our sins, we can go to Jesus and we'll be forgiven in regards of, you know, yeah. So but that's not to say that we should, you know, we should try to not commit sin, because, you know, to show that we love God, you know, is to keep the commandments, I think, something like that. I'm a little slow in my head at the moment. I'm you know, but yeah, because we know God hates sin. He hates transgression of the law. So if we want to show we love God, we keep his commandments. Like also Joseph, you know, yeah. In regards to the story in the Torah, or the law. So I don't see it as a problem in regards of that text, even if it was inserted, which again doesn't seem to be the case. But again, those people don't believing in this Trinity with a twist, as I call it, because again, there's the children of God as well. The children of Jehovah is, you know, becoming part of God. They are in Jesus Christ, going from death to life by being in the living God. And even if we die, we shall live. Yeah. Oh well, I guess even in times of hardship, in some sense, we have something to look forward to, like other brothers and sisters that, you know, the same as, you know, we are everywhere, you know, some here, some other, you know, everywhere around the earth, we're, you know, here and there, and we're going to be collected together, you know. That's going to be exciting times, I think. It's a really, you know, it's a mind-blowing in regards of living forever in some sense, but I'm sure, you know, God as a creator knows how he can keep us, you know, occupied in some sense, you know, who knows what, but yeah, I think we have something to look forward to, but still, it's, I'm still wondering how it's going to, you know, still living forever, and again, it's still weird to think about in regards of life, how things comes around and so forward. It's just, it is still mind-blowing that, yeah, how things, again, of course, we're living in a reality where we have a beginning and we have an ending. Of course, God is not confined by these things in regards of outside creation. Of course, he came in as Jesus Christ, of course. So, as a man and God in flesh, you know, the Word that was God became flesh. He was God. And all judgment has been given over to the Son by his Father. So, being interesting. You know, in regards of now that we are going to have or have the Antichrist as ruler and so forward, it's having a ruler that stands for only truth seems to be a pretty good thing, and there will be no war and so forward, and we can come up to Jerusalem and listen to Jesus, and if we have any questions we can just go to him. Yep, seems pretty good to me anyway. So let's see here. Yep. Oh, it's called the living stone as well here. So yep. Of course, in regards to the scriptures, it's amazing in some sense that we have prophecies in the Bible and we can see these things being fulfilled and having been fulfilled, a lot of them, and just working out, and it's just written long before things happening. And I think that's interesting, having a book that actually tells the future. That's pretty incredible, I think. History of Babylon and Medo-Persia and Greek and Rome. And then of course the continual Roman where we have the iron and the clay. And of course Jesus is coming back to destroy the kingdom of the Antichrist. I wonder how far we actually, we first have to, of course, have probably a new world order, it seems. And the whore is going to be destroyed. The system of Rome is going to be destroyed as far as I can see. And then they probably have all these Luciferian order thing in regards of Satan as well, following Satan and all that. Of course, we're going to see how things are, but in the end, he will be cast in the lake of fire, Oh yeah. So that's pretty good. Then Jesus is coming back and ruling the whole earth. And then of course all the rest of the fulfillments are going to get fulfilled. All the things that the Jews are expecting and awaiting, and other people as well. He didn't fulfill this and fulfilled that and all that. Well, what about all the things that he actually did fulfill? Oh, we forget about that now. Forget about it. We want to focus on the things he didn't fulfill instead of actually focusing on the things that he did fulfill. Sometimes, just yeah, it's weird. Weird. Oh yeah. I should be doing something. I actually also need to find out where I can actually wash my clothing, because they changed the place and you cannot, they're going to kick us out of these buildings and so forward and renew them so they can make them more expensive. Yeah. Run the wheel, I guess. Running the wheel around and around and around. And just getting more issues. But anyway, we as a country, we have been blessed very much. Compared to other places in the world, we pretty much have it very good. And look at India, for example, all that paganism and all that. And apparently it seems like we seem to want like they have it in India, because we're importing a lot of paganism. It doesn't seem like the country has been blessed that much in regards of India, with all their paganism, like the false pagan doctrines, and yeah, it's just. But Denmark seems to have been blessed pretty good by God, even if we have now left him. But of course, that's the same thing that happened in the Bible with the northern kingdom. And I guess the southern kingdom as well. But, you know, mostly if you read in regards to the northern kingdom, they had everything. Except the most important thing, they didn't have Jehovah. They had left him. He sent them prophets. They told them to turn around to him and so forward, and they didn't want to listen. So God took them out of the country, you know. And I think it's the same thing in regards to Denmark. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. You know, we mock the truth. We make fun of it. We don't care about it. Yeah. Just follow pagan traditions and going further and further down in the pit or the hole. You know. Homosexuality in regards of, marrying two men or marrying two women, and even making the churches take part of it. That's insane, you know. It's just going more, just going downhill. People don't read the Bible anymore. They just, they believe, they might think they're Christians, and they believe all these pagan doctrines. They don't read that. So many people seemingly don't ever open their Bible to read what is in it. Like, we need to have a, enlarged view on, reincarnation or speaking to animals in regards of, demons. We need to be large and this and that. And of course, the church itself doesn't have any backbone, just promoting all these pagan traditions. What are you doing? How can churches that just stand for the truth be so filthy, lying institutions? And if you tell, the shepherd, the priest, anything, they don't have an ear, and they should stand for truth, and they have it long. I wonder in regards to their education, if they actually just have been educated to deceive people. It seems so, because that's all they do, seemingly. Just deceiving the people with paganism, not saying anything, and then people, go along with it, and apparently, and of course, if they actually began to speak some truth, they might actually be kicked out of the church system because they defend their pagan traditions and their false. I really, after I became I went out of the church, not paying for the church when I was a New Ager, and or in the occult or Satan's candy shop, and afterwards I was thinking maybe I should actually pay in regards to the Lutheran Church. Maybe I should actually go and begin to pay this system again, because became Christian. But look at what they are teaching. Why would I put my money at a place where they deceive people? And if that is all that actually, if this system is not going to listen to the people in regards of wanting, of course, most people don't want truth anyway, but the system overall should stand for truth. And if it cannot stand for truth in regards of biblical truth, what is in the Bible, if they just take every spiritual pagan thing into the churches and their celebrations and so forward, and, well, maybe we shouldn't put money in the system. Maybe they will listen if they don't get money and a check in regards of the priest and whatever, If they don't get money, they pretty much are out of business. And maybe we should give the money to some people that actually, stand for truth, I don't know anything in regards of Denmark, but there are some in regards to the US, where at least they you know, they may have their error or you know, their issues, but at least they stand for some truth, you know. Instead of, you know, keeping the festivals in the Bible, standing for truth, standing for the Sabbath, standing for, you know, I think that would be much better, even if it's not in Denmark, you know, even if it's outside source. I would think that it would actually be much better to put the resources, or one could of course just go out and buy some Bibles or use the, you know, those money for something constructive, you know. Get some New Testaments. Just be careful of the Paul thing. I tend to warn people in regards to Paul. At least then they know. So because the problem again with Paul is that people are, you know, being led into total lawlessness when they read Paul. But anyway, so but of course in regards of Jesus Christ and so forward, you know, standard New Testament is pretty good, you know, or the book of the Gospel, you could call it the book of the Gospel, the book of the good news. And of course, we also have in regards to the law and the prophets in regards to that. But I think we should change how we actually, you know, the New Testament, the Old Testament, and just really, you know, I really like, you know, Jesus called it the law and the prophets, and so did other Christian sources in the beginning. So also outside the Bible and so forward, called it the law and the prophets. Now, of course, because of you know, hate of the Judaizers, and you know, it became, you know, they really attack the Judaizers and the Nazarenes. It seems, you know, by far what I can see. It's just really, but of course we were told that we will be persecuted, you know, so it's not a big surprise, but it's a surprise in some sense that the Christians would attack those, become vicious, you know, wolves eating the lamb in some sense, you know, or attacking them, and yeah, it's really sad, you know. And again, if you want to, I'm sure, you know, if you begin to walk that way and begin to the festivals and all that, you'll get it. You get, you know, you should be at some point. You'll get some heat for sure, you know. So, you know, we know they kept the festivals in Asia Minor. Oh yeah, I found the source in regards of Sukkot. They also kept Sukkot. So I have a source in regards of keeping Sukkot. We know they kept the Passover. I have at least 2 sources on that in regards of. I have more than 2 sources on the Passover, because there's just like a huge conflict in history. So actually, in regards of Victor in Rome wanted them to keep, you know, Easter instead of the true Passover. So actually, there's a lot of but anyway, we have one source, and I've seen in regards of Sukkot. But taking everything in consideration, they would probably have kept every single feast day written in the Torah, in God's law, in the law of Moses, which was commanded. And of course, they would also keep the Sabbath as well, which also we have. So it's not really that hard to, in some sense, to get back to the things. We just need to have a will to do it. And in Asia Minor was the place where they discounted Paulus as it seems to be a false apostle. At least Paulus says that all Asia left him, and that's pretty much the place that really bloomed in regards of truth. So in the 1st and 2nd century and so forward. So as far as I can see, and then it begins, Satan takes little by little and little by little, and if the people of God doesn't stand for truth, well, we lose rope, and so yup, and that's what we do. If we don't stand up for truth, we lose it little by little, and it just becomes worse and worse, and seems to be the same thing every time. If we don't stand on God's word, Satan comes and pretty much leads us on wrong path. So, and yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yep. That's experience. So anyway, read your Bible, all of you. You know, it's a good idea to read your Bible, you know. Don't trust anyone and be careful of Paul. Remember that the bad seeds, the bad, lawless, poisonous seeds was to be sown afterwards in regard to the good, law-abiding seeds. And they would grow up together. Remember that. Because it makes a huge amount of sense when you understand that. And fulfilling prophecy, of course. But anyway, but the Bible, read the Bible. The better you know your Bible, the less chance is that Satan is going to deceive us. And and he's really deceiving us. On a big, on a big scale for sure. You know, it's billions of people not having found Christ. And of course, the biggest place that as far as I can see, where Satan attacks is the Christians, because they are the worst enemy of him. So if he can deceive them and lead them to, wrong things here and there and so forward, of course he'll do it. And he's very good at it. But it seems like that's the pinnacle place that he is concerned about, because he has the rest deceived already. So not really seems, he doesn't really need to be that much concerned about all the rest, because they haven't found out who Jesus Christ is and so forward. But when you find out, you are now a prime target for Satan to try to take down in one way or another, So, and we just have to stand for truth, for the light, for the truth, even if people hates us for it, and they do, You really get some heat, and that's just how it is. Just have to keep things up in some sense, even if it's sometimes can be hard. Just need to keep it up and read the Bible, and pretty much. I guess. But anyway, the Melito, I think Melito was Melito, as I understand it, was from one of the 7 churches in Asia Minor, where Jesus wrote to. And it seems again, the name of God pretty much is apparently not found in many places in old writings. I really wonder if, it was taken out, or, but Melito also wrote to Caesar, apparently, to the so-called Caesar, or Caesar, the Roman Caesar, telling things in regards of an oration of Meliton, the philosopher, Melito, okay, who was in the presence of Antoninus Caesar, and bade the same Caesar know God, and showed him the way of truth, and he began speaking after this manner. Oh, I actually thought it was a letter, but he was actually standing in front of him. Wow. Must have taken some God in some sense to say some of these things he said. I'm thinking, he could have been killed, like talking to, Caesar. Melito said, "It is not an easy matter readily to bring into the right way that man who has been a long time preoccupied by error. But nevertheless it is possible to be done, for when a man has been turned from error a little, the mention of the truth is acceptable to him. For in the same manner as when the cloud has been broken a little, there is fine weather, so also a man too, when he is turned towards God, the thick cloud of error, which hindered him from the true vision, is quickly removed from his face. For error, like passion and sleep, holdeth for a long time, those who alight under it. I wonder what alight means. Alight, who, you know, is under it, or those who alight in it. Maybe, oh, I can actually just take it over here. Let's see, there we go. Oh no, that's the Danish. Wrong. Let's get the wrong. There we go. Alight in it. You know, some of these speakers was, you know, you also learn a lot by reading the Bible and studying words and so forward. You know, you're getting more alight. Let's see what it means. Alight, to come to rest.
Alight.
Alight, come down. Okay. To come to rest. Okay. For a long time, those who alight. Okay, hold it for a long time. Those who alight under it. Okay, in regards to the arrow thing. Okay. Let's see what it says. But truth, using the words as a stimulus and smiting such as are asleep, also awaketh them. And when they are awake, seeing the truth, they also understand, and hearing, they also distinguish that which exists from that which doeth not exist. For there are men that call wickedness righteousness, and so then they suppose that this is righteousness, when a man shall be in error together with the many. Oh yeah, nothing really has changed, hasn't it? Really the same thing in today's, in regards of, you know, many errors, and still they, you know, it's not a democracy, you know, I'm trying to, you know, but in regards of righteousness and unrighteousness, that is in regards of the law. You know, the way of God is righteousness, and the way away from God is unrighteousness. But I say that this is not a good excuse that a man be in error with the many, for if one only, you know, in regards, you know, it's the same thing, you know, 8 people only survived the flood. All the rest died in the flood. Doesn't matter how many there was in regards of how they saw things, you know. God judged the world, you know. It's not a democracy, it's a kingdom. Anyway, that a man be in error with the many, for if only one act foolishly, his folly is great. How much greater then must the folly be when the many are foolish together? Also, Melito, we don't have, you know, he wrote a lot. Also in regards to the book of Revelation, apparently he wrote a book on that, which would have been very interesting. But apparently it seems like Rome, of course, you know, made so his book wasn't printed, and then of course they at some point was lost to history. Thank you, Rome. Just one more time, right? Nah, and of course I didn't mean that. That was ironic. I'm sorry about that. I should probably. But anyway, you know, it's just, you know, when Catholics say, oh, this and that, and you're using our sources and blah, blah, blah. Well, you pretty much have destroyed so many sources, you know, so, you know, people try the best that they can do to use whatever sources there is left. Now, of course, there's still a huge amount of sources out there, but, you know, there's a lot of interesting material that apparently has been lost to history, or maybe is in the basement of Rome, who knows, you know. But, you know, they probably don't want it out there because it goes against them and their institution. Anyway, but the folly of which I speak is this: if a man should leave that which really exists, and serve that which really does not exist, but there is that which really exists and is called God, and he really exists, and by his power everything subsists. Okay, that was a really, wow. And this same was not made, nor yet brought into being, but exists from eternity. Oh, there goes the false Jehovah's doctrine out the door again, you know. So anyway, because they believe that, you know, Jesus is a created being, apparently. Of course he was not. This same was not made nor yet brought into being, but exists from eternity and will exist forever and ever. He undergoes no change, while all things are changed. No sight is able to behold him, nor understand standing able to comprehend him, nor words to describe him, and those who love him call him after this manner, Father and God of truth. Interesting. And if therefore a man abandon the light, and say that there is another God, it is found from his own words that he called some created thing God. For if a man call fire God, it is not God, because it is fire. And if a man call the waters gods, they are not God, because they are waters. And if this earth which we tread upon, and if those heavens which are seen by us, and if the sun or the moon or one of those stars which run their course by ordinance, and rest not, nor proceed by their own will, and if a man call gold and silver gods, are not these things that we use as we please? And if that wood which we burn, and if those stones which we break, how then are these gods? But again, a lot of people calling themselves or confessing themselves Christians are bowing down before idols and statues and images and icons and so forward. It's horrible, Don't they read their Bible? Come on, people. For lo, they are for the use of men. How will not they be found in great sin? Okay, sin. We have sin again. What is sin? Sin is transgression of the law. Which law is it? Well, it's probably not the law of Caesar, because the law of Caesar pretty much forced people to, make a sacrifice thing, and even to Caesar himself. And if you didn't do it, cast them to the lions, for example, or, what do you call it, torture and so forward. Anyway, no side. Okay, let's see, where did we go? So, for lo, they are for the use of men. How will not they be found in great sin, who change the great God by their word into those things which stand by ordinances, so far as they do stand? But I say nevertheless that so, let's see, how many pages actually is this? 4 pages to the Roman Caesar here. Okay. Yep, let's take a... We can do 4 pages, right? Just need to fix it together here, and there we go. Fix together. Do I actually have... Should also have a pencil and... Oh yeah, maybe this one thing. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, there's not room for me to sit there. I'll sit over here then. Yep, so Dipsy. And there we go. And being as it is not... There we go. Then you can pretty much do this and just use the headlight for the thing you read. Probably shouldn't do it, but on the camera. Let's go forward. How will not they be found in great sin, who change the great God by their word into those things which stand by ordinances, so far as they do stand? Oh yeah, by the way, in regards of, a lot of the sources that we have lost, seemingly, to history, it's funny thing is that a lot of those sources would be, seemingly the most interesting sources. So it seems like it's a satanic systematically removal of information. Again, which is not a surprise, but anyway, and of course so many attacks on the Judaizers. Hey, newsflash, Jesus was a Jew, Yeah, and he kept the Jewish law, well, not the Jewish law, well, yeah, well, you can call it, of course, but Jehovah's law, he kept it to perfection. You give me a break, But I say nevertheless that so long as a man not having heard neither discern nor understand that there is a Lord over these creatures. Perhaps he is not to be blamed, because no one blameth the blind when he walketh badly. For in the same manner also men, while they were seeking after God, stumbled against stones and stocks, and such of them as were rich stumbled against gold and silver, and by their stumbling were kept back from that which they were seeking after. And one have to remember, he's speaking to, the most likely the most powerful person, I would think, in at the point, in regards of the it would probably be the most powerful person in the world at that point. Let's see, where did we go? Oh yeah, okay, which they were seeking after. But now that a voice has been heard in all the earth, that there is a God of truth, and an eye has been given to every man to see withal. They are without excuse who are influenced by a feeling of shame towards the many. Well, where's my glasses, by the way? It would be nice with my glasses. It is not the biggest text. I need some glasses. Of course, probably I should do this in another. But anyway. My mind is not so much with me at the moment. But I can't go to sleep now because it's too early for that. Have to keep awake. So let's see. For those who are ashamed to be saved, necessity compels them to die. On this account I counsel them that they open. Oh, still very small text. Open their eyes and see, for lo, light without envy is given to all of us, that we may see thereby. And if, when light had arisen upon us, anyone closes his eyes, this is really hard to and if, when light hath arisen upon us, anyone closes his eyes, that he may not see, his course is to the ditch. For why is a man influenced by feelings of shame towards those who have been in error together with himself? Rather it behoveth him to persuade them to follow his steps. And if they, follow after his steps, just stop doing those pagan things, And if they be not persuaded by him, he should save himself from amongst them. For there are some men who are not able to raise themselves up from their mother earth. For this cause also they make for themselves gods from the earth their mother. Let's see. And they are condemned by the judgment of truth, because they have fixed the name which is unchangeable to those things which are subject to change, and fear not to designate as gods that which has been made by the hands of man, and they are to make an image for God whom they have not seen. Hey, what are the Catholics doing these days? Well, if Jesus is God and they are making this dude on a cross, are they not making an image in regards of God whom they have not seen, in some sense? They wasn't there, was they? Anyway, doesn't really matter what kind of image it is in regards of, but, if you're doing these things, you are committing idolatry. You're whoring with Satan. So, again, they can do that, Satan can do his deceptions, this and that, and crosses and crucifixes and Mary statues and whatever, doesn't matter. It's paganism. It's worshipping the devil, the old snake, Satan. Oh well, just take everything and just destroy it, burn it, get rid of it. But I affirm that also the Sibyl has said respecting them. I'm not sure who Sibyl is. Sibyl. Oh, there we go. Sibyl. Nope. It's written correctly. Sibyl also respecting them that it is the images of kings who are dead they worship. Okay, so this is in regards of kings who are dead they worship. That makes sense also in regards of, think about it, if the kings of old after the flood were still living like 400 years, one might think that someone might have, come to worship them or something like that, who knows. And this is easy to understand, for lo, even now they worship and honor the images of those belonging to the Caesars. Maybe that's like the so-called popes today, more than those former gods. For from those the former gods both tribute and produce are paid to Caesar as to one who is greater than they, and on this account those are slain who despise them. And on this account those are slain who despise them and diminish the revenue of Caesar. For also to the treasury of other kings in various places it is appointed how much the worshippers supply, and how many sacks full of water from the sea. And this is the wickedness of the world, of such as worship and fear that which has no perception, and many of those who are cunning, Kether for the sake of profit. Kether. I think it's called Kether. I would think it means like, but let's see. The battery is low. Kether, okay, playing an instrument or something like that? No, well. Kether for the sake of profit, or on account of vain glory, or for the sake of swaying the many, both worship themselves and instigate the deficient and understanding to worship that which has no perception. But I, according as I know, will write and show how and for what causes images were made for kings and tyrants, and they became as gods. The people of Argos made images for Hercules, because he was, and I think that was something in regards of they had some arguments against the pagans in regards of, well, Jesus, is alive, but, your gods are, you have a grave for this god and all that, so, having a grave and so forward, that was an argument I think the Christian used. But Jesus, he has an empty grave, Anyway, Argos made for images for Hercules, because he was one of their own citizens and was brave, and slew by his valor noisome beasts, and more especially because they were afraid of him, for he was violent and carried away the wives of many. For his lust was great, like the Surati the Persian, his friend. Again, the people of Aete, or something like that, worshipped Dionysius, a king, because he originally introduced the wine into their country. So that's apparently also a king, according to this. And he's talking to Caesar at that point. So from the 2nd century. So they should know some things, Let's see. The Egyptians worshipped Joseph. That's interesting. A Hebrew who was called Serapis. Oh yeah, so we have a name of some. That would be, interesting if they actually found something in regards of a name called Serapis. And apparently that would then be Joseph, because he supplied them with sustenance in the years of famine. So the Egyptians actually ended up worshipping, Joseph, according to this. Okay. I guess it wouldn't be that much of a surprise if they actually did, The Athenians worship Athene, the daughter of Zeus, king of the island of Crete. So, again, these seems to apparently just be kings, worldly kings that apparently, or this daughter of a king, because she built the citadel Athens and made Erectonius her son king there, whom she had by adultery. So here we have some in regards of adultery. By the way, that's also sin according to God's law. With Hephaestus, a smith, the son of a wife of her father, and she always was making companionship with Hercules, because he was her brother on her father's side. For Zeus the king fell in love with Alcmene, the wife of Electrion, who was from Argos, and committed adultery with her, and she gave birth to Hercules. I know there's some other Christian sources also talking about these Greek, things and all that, and their sins as well. The people of Phoenicia worship Balthe, queen of Cyprus, because she fell in love with Tammuz. Son of Cutar, king of the Phoenicians, and left her own kingdom and came and dwelt in Gabal, a fortress of the Phoenicians, and at the same time she made all the Cypriots subject to the king Cutar. For before Tammuz she had been in love with Ares, and committed adultery with him, and Hephaestus, her husband, caught her, and was jealous over her. Oh yeah. And came and slew Tammuz in Mount Lebanon, while he was hunting wild boars, and from that, boars, that's unclean animal. And from that time Balthe remained in Gabal, and she died in the city at Aphaka, where Tammuz was buried. Well, a lot of interest, at least information. Oh, he continues. Wow, he really... The Elamites worship Nu. I think that's Iranians, but I'm not sure. Daughter of the king of Elam, when the enemy had taken her captive, her father made for her an image and a temple in Shushan, a palace which is in Elam. The Assyrians worshipped Hadibite. Oh, this guy knew a lot of things, seems. Who sent the daughter of Bidet, who was skilled in medicine, and she cured Shimi, daughter of Hadad, king of Syria. And after a time, when the leprosy attacked Hadad himself, Ati entreated Elisha, the Hebrew, that's a Hebrew name, Elisha. I'm not sure what it actually means. It's something with God, Elisha, Eli, I'm not sure, but interesting. Elisha the Hebrew, and he came and cured him of his leprosy. The people of Mesopotamia also worshipped Cutbe, a Hebrew woman, because she delivered Baku, the patrician of Edessa, from his enemies. But touching Nebo, which is in Marduk, why would I write to you? For lo, all the priests which are in Marduk know that it is the image of Ophiuchus, Thracian Magus, and Hadrian is the image of Zarathustra, a Persian Magus. Because both of these magi practice magism, that sounds like magic, to a well which is in the wood in Marduk, in which was an unclean spirit. Yeah, unclean spirit, that's like a fallen angel, a demon, and you do wonder. Actually, yeah. We have unclean animals and we have clean animals. We have unclean spirits and we have, must be clean spirits then, right? So maybe the unclean spirits likes to be in unclean animals in some sense, instead of not being in clean animals, better. But of course, if the clean animals are defiled, now of course that could be, then the meat gets defiled. There must be more sources on these doctrines in regards of eating meat sacrificed to false gods out there. Now again, I already got some sources for sure. But, I would like some verification, some more sources on this topic. And I should probably write all the sources down in regards to the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the outside sources, and actually make a video on that when at some point I'm better suited for it, because this video is pretty much a slow video, just so, I'm tired. Anyway, in which was an unclean spirit, and it committed violence and attacked the passage of everyone who was passing by in all that place, in which now the fortress of Mabuk is located. And this same Magi charged Shimi, the daughter of Hadad, that she should draw water from the sea and cast it into the well, in order that the spirit not come up and commit injury, according to that which was a mystery in their magism. Magism. And in like manner, the well, in order that the spirit should not come up and commit injury, according to that which was a mystery in their magism. And in like manner, also the rest of mankind made images of their kings. So it seems like, So they made images of the kings and worshipped them. Maybe it's like the Caesar thing, worshipping Caesar, which I will not write further. It's really funny because here he talks about writing. So, but it says that he was standing in front of Caesar. So how? Who was in the presence of Antonius Caesar and bade the Caesar? It seems more like it's a letter actually, because he talks about writing and so forward. Of which I will not write further. But thou, a free intelligence and cognizant of the truth, if thou wilt consider these things into thyself, and if they clothe thee in the fashion of a woman, remember that thou art a man, and be a deliverer in him who really is God. And to him open thy mind, and to him commit thyself, and he is able to give thee everlasting life, which dieth not. Yep. And to him to open thy mind, and to commit thyself, and he is able to give thee everlasting life, which dieth not. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? For everything cometh through his hands, and all other things, so let them be esteemed by thee as they are. Images are images, sculptures as sculptures, and let not anything which has been made be put by thee in the place of him who is not made. So, there we go again with the false Jehovah's Witnesses. I think it seems like Melito was really close to a lot of truth. But of course he was also, it seems, from Asia Minor, and where was the other? But there is that which really exists, that is called God. Oh, I should have fixed in regards to the other place where I said it, in regards of in regards of the other place we are running low on power. Do I have a? Nope. Of course I can just put, but it would have been nice to find the other place. It's not like you can find every place, It's not like a big secret, and the Muhammad now the false Jehovah's Witnesses will try to discount this and that and all that, but it's just there are so many sources, so it's just near impossible to discount it. They might try to explain it and so forward, but there is an endless mountain. Well, maybe not endless, but it's a huge amount of piles of information that, yeah. Let's see. Discounting Jehovah's Witnesses. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get it to stand up a little. Maybe a little hard. But where I was in regards to the first time, oh well, doesn't matter. But it would have, just be interesting. So anyway, God is not made to put by thee in the place of him who is not made, but let him, the ever living God, be always running in thy mind, for thy mind itself is his likeness, for it too is invisible and impalpable and without form, and by its will the whole body is moved. Know thou therefore that if thou wilt always be serving him that is immovable, as he exists forever, so thou also, when thou shalt have put off this, which is visible and corruptible, shall stand before him forever, living and endowed with knowledge, and thy work shall be for thee riches which faileth not, and possessions that do not lack. But know thou that the chief of all thy good works is this, that thou shouldest know God and serve him, and know that he asketh not for anything of thee, he needeth nothing. Who is that God? Yeah, who is that God? He who is himself truth, and his word truth. But what is truth? Question mark. That which is not fashioned and not made and not formed, that is that which without having been brought into existence does exist and is called truth. But if then a man worship that which has been made by hands, it is not the truth he worshipped. Neither also the word of truth, but for myself I have much to say touching this matter, but I am influenced by the feeling of shame for those who do not understand that they are better than the work for their own hands, nor do they understand how they could give gold to the artist, that they may make for them a god, and give them silver for their ornament and their honor, and they transfer their riches from one place to another, and then worship them. And what disgrace can be greater than this, that a man should worship his riches? Actually, it's a little funny in some things, because Jesus talked about, you cannot serve money and God on the same time. It's just a little poetic if you did, if they make idols of gold and silver and actually worship their riches in some sense. Anyway, and abandon him who bestowed upon him the riches, and that he should revile man, but worship the image of man, and slay a beast, but worship the likeness of a beast. But worship the image of a man, and slay a beast. Let's see. And that he should revile man, but worship the image of man, and slay a beast, but worship the likeness of a beast. Okay. So it's like, and that he should revile a man, but worship the image of a man, and slay a beast, but worship the likeness of a beast. Okay. Just, yeah. And it must be acknowledged that is the workmanship of their fellow men, that they, I do one thing, I don't understand that, how people can't see it, you know, they need to apparently use so many arguments, and apparently people continue to, you know, they can't see it, you know. It's just, from them they worship, let's see, and it must be acknowledged that is the workmanship of their fellow men that they worship, for they do not worship the materials while they are laid by in a bundle, but when the artists have fashioned images from them, they worship them. Neither do they worship the substance of gold or of silver until the sculptors have engraven them, that they worship them. Deficient of understanding, what additional thing has been imparted to the gold, that now thou worshipest it? If it be because it resembles a winged animal, why doest thou not worship the winged animal itself? And if because it resembles a voracious beast, lo, the voracious beast itself is before thee. And if it be the artist's skill itself that please thee, then let the artistic skill of God please thee, who made everything, and in his own likeness made the artist. And they endeavor to do like him, but resemble him not. But perchance thou mayest say, why did not God create me, so that I should then have served him, and not idols? By this that thou speakest in such a manner, thou wouldest seek to become an idle instrument, and not a living man. For God made thee so well as it seemed good to him, and gave thee a mind endowed with free will. So according to this, we have a mind of free will, and gave thee a mind of free will. He sets before thee abundant things, that thou mightest distinguish each thing, and choose for thyself that which is good. He has set before thee the heavens, the plural form of heavens, that's nice, and he has placed in them the stars. He has set before thee the sun and the moon, and they every day fulfill their course therein. He has set before thee many waters. It's also in regards of the course. You know, if you're reading this, it seems more like that they are actually, you know, like the other place, you know, could actually be going around the earth and not the earth, you know, spinning. But anyway, I don't know about that, but you know, there's some ideas out there, you know. So he has said before, also in regards of interesting ideas in regards of the earth being the center of you know, the universe, and also we see the galaxy clusters like in circles, you know, pattern from the earth, also very interesting. And the axis of evil as well, you know. Anyway, and they every day fulfill their course therein. He has set before thee many waters, and restrained them by his word. He has set before thee the vast earth, which is still and continued desired. He had set before thee the clouds, which by ordinances bring water from above, and satisfy the earth, and from these things thou mightest understand. So he uses ordinance. Okay, interesting. It's really small. I have no idea why I printed it out in so small letters, but I guess it's from the website. Which by ordinances bring water from above, and satisfy the earth, that from these things thou mightest what? Mightest understand. Let's see if we can put it over there or something like that. Maybe if we, there we go. Nope. Still have some issues having it stand up here. Maybe we can do this. Okay, worked. At least for now. Boom, boom, boom.
I have difficulties with this, you know. Let's see. By ordinance spring water from above and satisfy the earth, and from these things thou mightest understand that he who moveth these in greater than they all, that he who moveth these is greater than they all. And thou mightest accept the goodness of him who had given to thee a mind, by which thou mayest distinguish these things. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm really I'm not sure if I can go on. I'm really my brain is done, it seems. I think I'll stop now. Anyway, just it wasn't really wasn't anyway. But you can go look at this. Is called just if you want to read. It's called what is it called? That's pretty much half of it or something like that left. It's called the an oration of Meliton, the philosopher. Okay, yeah, well, we'll just go out and take the camera. If it works, now that it's Speciligium Sericum 1855 or something like that. P.S. Melito of Sardis, apology. And here's the website for it, if you want to have a look. And battery is also getting low. But anyway, there's like, you know, two pages. Actually only one page left, but it's so small and I can't go on, you know. I'm wasted. I'm totally wasted. I need some sleep. But I should still be up. I was looking into in regards of some of the psalms. Oh, now the cat still having problems with the program apparently in regards to this. I'm not sure if it's my ad block or something. I have like this ad block. I'm not sure if it's the ad blocker. I'm not sure if that should actually do anything, but apparently I still have problems with the program and the module's not working. It's very annoying. And let's see if, yeah, it has can't load the module if blah blah blah. Yeah. And I have no idea why it does it. But it just doesn't really help on when you're researching and you know, it's just very annoying. And again, I'm not sure if it's because I'm having this ad blocker on, but that shouldn't really have anything to do with it, I would think. But maybe it has. Have to try to take it off and see if I can make the same problem. So anyway, have a good one, all of you. I don't think anyone should actually see this. It's just, you know, Phil, tired man talking about nothing. I think I should actually probably not make videos that doesn't really add up to anything. Must be very boring and following these videos. Probably not going to get anything. It's not of interest, you know. So I would actually give it a thumbs down in some sense. Oh, there's a little information in it, but you know, nearly 2.5 hours with me going on and on and on. Not really with anything exciting at this point in this video anyway. It will be a lot more interesting in regards of the doctrine of food sacrifice to idols if I just find all the sources and I can speak them and make a video on that. You know, in regards of packing information in it. You know, there's a lot of information out there for sure, you know. But in regards to the book of Acts, you know, you have the Gentiles are told not to eat food sacrificed to false gods, and of course the Revelation as well.
Some of them still works. Anyway, Psalm. The Psalms are mostly interested at the moment. There we go. And the Hey ISB module have some issues, but it's free and all that in regards to the Psalms. But I would like to. I need to check. You tend to get into one. Asrei Ha'ish Asher Lo Halach Ba'asat Reshaim. And the thing is, if I'm going to sit here anyway and say, well, U V'derecha or U V'derek, you will also, if looking on the red letters and the Hebrew letters, and you get some training as well in it. If you're checking if there's an issue, because sometimes it's missing some of the first part of the thing. Of course, there's an error there in regards to Adonai, and they translate it as God. Funny enough here. Oh, not funny enough, but anyway. But sometimes there's a little error here and there, and of course that's, one could fix it. Maybe not so much in the first psalm, but I've seen a lot of places where, well, not a lot, but I've seen a good amount of places where there's one little error there and one little error there. But it's a huge work, of course, to make these things. I wouldn't personally, I would like to try to make something of this kind, but in Danish. But I don't see these musical notes that are there, like that one over there and this one over there. There's dots and tittles and so forward, but there's these musical notes, and it seems to me that they're just more of a problem for new people that wants to try to read Hebrew than actually and help. It just makes it more confusing to read the text when they are there. How would it be nice to make it? The site is pretty good, and if one made a Danish version instead, well, it's a huge amount of work, of course, but it can be done, and you would get some training at the same time doing it, of course. So yeah, we have a lot. Yep. But it seems like I might actually need to reinstall the program and reactivate it, and maybe also set it up again, or to get it to work. I can make a backup of this program and then go from there and try it out. Anyway, have a good one, all of you. It's I'm turning off. Bye bye. Oops.